Jurassic Jordan is great. Thank you, Dr. Steve, for being the only person who is hopeful. I remember back during August 2024, everyone was dooming. It was hard, but you helped us give us hope, similar to what's happening now. Well, thank you. Thank you, Jurassic. Yeah, right-wing media was forged in despair. I mean, I'm just going to be blunt. I mean, it was forged in despair, whether it was during the Clinton era. Rush was great. We loved Rush. But whether it was Clinton or post 9/11, and then World War III apocalypse, and then we got Trump, but then the deep state came and tried to take him out. Almost looked like they were successful. And so the war with the deep state continued, and blah, 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 blah. And then after J6 of 2021, there was this all-out concerted effort to purge the big tech from conservative voices. So we gathered together and we regrouped on parallel platforms, like, for example, Rumble. And what we did was we launched a resistance. Now, again, we already had that. We already had this sense of resistance because the modern world, by its nature, is inherently liberal. It's inherently emancipatory. So conservatism has always had this bit of a doomer bent to it, feeling like, no matter what we do, we can't turn this tide. It's just too big. We can steer the boat, but the tide we're on is always moving us to the left. And then that just went on steroids when we were in exile. And then when Trump, social media exile, and then when Trump won, there was all this euphoria. And boy, that didn't last long. I mean, literally within 2 weeks, I was already seeing old habits coming back from online influencers, dooming, glooming. He's betraying. Look at who he's picking on for his cabinet. Oh, he's going full neocon. And it just, it's not hard to see why. I mean, their business model has been built on doom and gloom. Their business model has been built on defeatism, on apocalypticism, on cataclysmicism. It's so everything is a war. Steve Bannon, right? War Room. Not to throw out names, but Steve dooms way too much for me personally. There's this inability to see what's actually happening when all is said and done, because the modern world that's very liberal is dead, and we're in a postmodern world that is returning to nation, culture, custom, and tradition. Right. The last post about the new Chilean president, Cas, is a perfect example of that. The world is returning to nation, culture, custom, and tradition. The world is moving in our direction. Liberals have never been weaker before. I'll see posts by Cernovich. Woke isn't dead. It's just waiting, and it's going to come back with a vengeance. Woke is dead. Everyone laughs at wokeness now. It is dead. Can it come back? Sure. And it will be its death knell. It will be destroyed very, very quickly because it splits the left and unites the right. So it's guaranteed there will always be more people to vote against a woke issue than vote for it. The dooming is unending. And it's been ingrained in conservative minds because we spent so many decades in a modernist world that was inherently liberal and that was inherently emancipatory. But we are in a postmodern world now. We're actually entering, I would argue, into an archaeomodern world where the ancient religions and civilizations and traditions of the past are all surfacing. Now, there are some estimates today that the single most common form of government today are constitutional theocracies. Constitutional theocracies. So a state that is rooted in and creates laws overtly from a religious tradition, a distinct religious tradition, with rule of law, jurist overseeing constitutionalism to sort of limit how far that religious obligations can be imposed upon the population. Many people argue we are what's called a soft constitutional theocracy. But these guys are clueless. They've got no idea. I mean, when Elon Musk goes into the microphone and says, and even Elon has had his moments of dooming here, but he goes to that microphone and said, the future is going to be amazing. This is unbelievable. We are in the golden age. This is incredible. And then he starts talking about the importance of Christian civilization, starts lecturing German citizens. It's okay to be German. You can be proud to be at the AfD rally that he spoke at via simulcast. And he's on the forefront of civilizationalism, on the forefront of technopolarity, on the forefront of astropolitics. That's where the world is going. It's the whole doom and gloom bullshit. I don't know how people listen to it. I honestly don't. I sit there for 5 minutes and I just think, I'm just literally listening to a lunatic. From anyone. I don't care who it is. I'm just listening to a lunatic who has no idea the world that's happening out there. It is called virtualism. This is from Bruno Marçais, the Portuguese scholar. There is a thing called virtual reality. Not talking about the VR headset that you put on, but that because we spend so much time, like what we're doing now, sifting reality or our perception of reality through a screen. It's very easy to substitute visceral physical reality with that virtual reality. And so we can start creating worlds of our own. And Marçais argues that Americans are particularly prone to it because we've always been a very media-driven people. Media was always a very important part of our republic and the public square. So in the 19th century, the rise of the newspaper. In my backyard here in Cecil County, you had two newspapers, the Cecil County Whig and the Cecil County Democrat. So, and so it was like talk radio. It was a national conversation on both sides. Here's what Democrats, how they see the world, and here's Whigs and how they see the world. And then you got to make up your own mind. Very, very similar to the way media is sort of re-traditionalizing that way now. But I think back then, at least you did not have this propensity towards this Gnostic kind of virtualism that we get in the cybersphere, and that just becomes the shtick, the paradigm by which so much right-wing media comes to us. But it's just, I mean, honestly, I have to be honest. I don't listen to a bit of it, a shred of it. I mean, I get the snippets on X. And I see, but outside of that, the hysterics, the apocalypticism, the cataclysmicism, the defeatism, the doomism, you can have it. You don't build civilizations on that. It's all nonsense. It is to our culture what pigeons are to statues. I'll leave it at that. My rant is done. My soapbox moment is now. The pigeons are coming for me.